Subscribe and like for more educational videos to come. Let us begin.
How to survive the end of the world. Preparing for Armageddon, natural disasters, nuclear strikes, the zombie apocalypse, and every other threat to human life on Earth. Most of us have thought about how we would handle various types of scenarios that could signal the end of the world. There are plenty of movies on the subject, psychological papers, and even survivalists that are part of reality TV shows. Perhaps you have had dreams about being one of the few left and what you would do in order to survive. What about the risks of natural disasters that are devastating in terms of the volume of damage that they can create? In recent years, the number of tornadoes, hurricanes, and other natural disasters have continued to increase. There can be many reasons for this, including changes in overall climate. While we can't control the events that may one day unfold, we can control how we are prepared for them. With some basic items stored, you can have an upper hand on many other people that failed to get anything in place. Creating some types of allies that you would be able to depend on if you had a need during such time could make the difference between life and death. Your overall health and well-being are important at every stage of life. During an end-of-the-world scene, you won't be able to just walk into the doctor's office or to get medications. Being fit mentally and physically can help you to be prepared for survival mode. Here is a list of things that you should be ready for. Anarchy. Not everyone is happy with the laws as they are. There is plenty of controversy, and taking matters into a new direction may occur. This is known as anarchy, and with a large enough group with a similar vision, they would possibly be able to take over and run things their way. Of course, without a balance of laws and regulations, there would be all-out riots, battles, and more that would result in plenty losing their lives and only a small percentage surviving. Artificial intelligence. Technology offers us many benefits, and computers are very advanced compared to just a decade ago. Some experts feel that we need to worry about artificial intelligence taking over the world. Is it possible that they would one day be able to think on their own? What if they were programmed with some ulterior motives that a human wasn't able to control or stop? In such a scenario, it would be very difficult to survive without lots of skills and supplies. Asteroids. There are movements out there in space all the time, and we tend to never worry about them. Yet it is possible for an asteroid to create some type of explosion. Another worry that could occur is that with all of the human disruption of space, such as with rockets, satellites, etc., that it is possible for us to create a cosmic chain reaction of events that result in havoc on Earth. Chemical war. The risk of chemical war could be intentional or by accident, yet the exposure of such chemicals to living things would certainly destroy most of them. There are several movies that explore this option. For some reason, there would be those that were resistant to the problem. The use of gas masks and other devices could mean the difference between living or dying. Earthquake. Movement of the Earth at the core, or the mantle, can result in areas of mass touching each other. This is what creates an earthquake. The severity of it depends on many factors. Some scientists believe that the end of the world will be due to the many underlying changes to the Earth and the core of it and how it is comprised. As a result, a very large earthquake may be one of the ways in which the end of the world happens. There could be a big enough shift in the core and the mantle due to global warming and other negative elements to make it possible, even if only a very small percentage of possibility is there. Food shortage. An ecological imbalance could result in a food shortage. This can include overpopulation, changes in climate that make growing food difficult, deforestation, and even lack of fish due to pollution in the waterways. A lack of food would have a chain reaction for both humans and animals. Government martial law. It is no secret that the economy is in dire straits, and it has been that way for quite some time. Government martial law may occur at some point, and only those that are really ready for it would be able to survive. This type of tactic would include a curfew, rations on food, relocation that is by force, and even supplies and weapons being confiscated. Hurricane. Depending on where you live. Tropical storms and hurricanes can occur in areas where there are large bodies of water close by the coast. They can create huge amounts of high winds, combined with the force of high waters onto the land. While it is unlikely that a hurricane could create enough devastation for the end of the world, they could cause enough damage in locations that it could have a serious trickle-down effect for those that do survive. Nuclear war. There are countermeasures in place for nuclear weapons, and the ability to steer them off course. However, that is all in theory though, and never really tested in an actual event scenario. The ability to track nuclear weapons though via satellite has significantly reduced the chances of such a doomsday event wiping out the majority of humanity. Still, it can't be entirely ruled out of the equation. Social unrest. Significant outbursts of violence can occur if social unrest were to occur. The concept of kill or be killed could apply. It would mean lots of violence, limited supplies, and lots of chaos. In the end, only those that were really prepared both physically and mentally would have a chance to hold out until some balance could be successfully restored. Tsunami. Depending on where you live, in areas where there is an ocean or a lake, a tsunami can occur. The large amounts of water combined with force can cause destruction of homes, food being grown, and the loss of life. Virus epidemic. There are plenty of viruses that have been around, such as the flu, West Nile, and others that make people very ill. Only a small amount of people have actually ever died from them. However, there is the risk that there could be a virus that mutates and that it results in an epidemic of people dying due to the lack of a vaccine being available to fight it. Water shortage. Studies indicate that water shortages could wipe out over half of the world population. In addition to water shortage, there could be issues with water that is polluted and results in serious diseases that cause death. These are just a handful of some of the scenarios that could play out, so you need to be ready for anything and everything. While you may not want to think about what could go wrong, you do need to think about your role and your responsibility to your family. They will be looking to you for guidance and survival. Being able to provide them that comfort and that direction is going to give you peace of mind. The end result isn't so much what happens, but how you are able to cope with it and how you are able to thrive in spite of it. The right supplies, physical abilities, and the right mindset are important to think about. Ultimately, surviving the end of the world is not just about stocking supplies or honing skills. It's about cultivating the spirit and community needed to navigate uncertainty and emerge stronger on the other side. Whether it be through preparation, resourcefulness, or community building, learning how to survive the end of the world can also illuminate pathways toward a more sustainable and cohesive existence in our everyday lives. So, until next video guide, thanks for listening and watching Online Digital Bookstore.